Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some raids here. First one is going to be a Donphan and then a Alolan Raichu. With this Alolan Raichu, I'm going to be using just 2 Groudons, and that's it. So that was fairly fun. Only took me 1 try, and the Alolan Raichu did have Psychic. Now, for this one right here, we have a Donphan with counter in Earthquake in cloudy weather, so the counter is weather boosted. I'm going to be doing it with just the weather trio, Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Groudon. Groudon does have Solar Beam, Rayquaza has Dragon Tail and Outrage, and Kyogre, Waterfall, and Hydro Pump. Now, Kyogre is the key. You want to last as long as you can. Taking this Earthquake right here was perfect because it charged up my Hydro Pump and it wasn't full, so I wasn't wasting any power there. You can only take about one, I'd say. Yeah, about that. You don't want to dodge all of them. You want to take one hit because then you're slowing yourself down. Rayquaza does do a fairly good amount of damage, so it needs to stay in the fight for some time as well. Being part flying type, it does take those earthquakes extremely well. I dodged a few just so it can last a little bit longer because it's doing more damage than Groudon. Groudon is a good option as well because of that Solar Beam, and I didn't go for Dragon Tail just because Mudshot is going to be charging up that Solar Beam a little bit quicker, and that is the key to getting the damage onto Donphan there with that super effective grass move. So it was pretty fun. After the Alolan Raichu with the 2 Groudons, then we're going to take a look at a Flareon and another Alolan Raichu and another Donphan raid doing some random Pokemon. But for the most part, guys, let me tell you this. I've been sitting at so many Donphan raids for the whole duration just because I keep getting Shadow Head or the lag or just another nonsense thing just going one after another, and I am down to literally no revives almost. I had 150 max revives and like 100, or it was like 50 something revives because I was tossing them thanks to all the rare candies. I am down to a very, very low number. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's sad. I haven't been this low on revives since I told myself I would never do this again about a year and like 8 months ago. So yeah, pretty bad. Is it worth it? No, not anymore. At least I gained the experience and knowledge as to what I need to do, or as how broken the game is, because that's the thing. That's the main problem. It's not that it's hard and I'm failing because I'm not doing what I need to do. It's the game. It's not cooperating. It's broken. So this isn't a rant just telling you what's going on here, because this is what I do, these raids, and it's super hard for me not to talk about it. If I wasn't doing these super timey raids, I guess you can call it, challenges, then you would never hear me talking about, oh, the raids and the timer, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? I wouldn't need it. So there we go. Groudon finishing it up. So like I said, you're not going to be able to do this if it has Heavy Slam or Play Rough. With the weather trio, it's not going to happen because Rayquaza is a glass cannon and Play Rough is super effective to it, and Heavy Slam is just continuously happening, doing a fairly good amount of damage, making it quite difficult to last a long time in that battle with minimal amount of Pokemon. Alright, so we're going to go on to catch this Donphan. Now, if you don't get a good IV raid boss, what I recommend you do is, maybe not transfer it. Some people tend to like to go to the gyms, battle it, and then transfer after that once it has no HP. Or you can trade it to see if you can get a lucky, because, I mean, what's the harm in that, right? So let's go on to the Alolan Raichu. Without any weather boost, it is cloudy weather, so it's not boosted, or neither am I. Now the key here is to dodge every charge move. I did take one. It does have Psychic with the first Groudon, and I was thinking to myself, are you kidding me? I don't feel like restarting this, and I really need to be somewhere. I shouldn't be doing this raid right now. And so I just continued on pressing. It does have Volt Switch, which, does a lot of damage, but I am ground type, so not a big deal. So there's the problem there. You're going to tend to want to use your charge move as soon as it's full, but sometimes you need to hold off for just a few seconds until that raid boss does their special. And then once they do, then you'll be able to dodge and then get off your charge move. I was impatient and just went for it. So we're still looking okay. Groudon is past half health, and I haven't even taken it into, you know, mid-range, which is not too good. Those earthquakes are putting on massive damage to it, so I'm looking okay there. As long as I dodge all the psychics, I should be able to get in, what, like 3 more earthquakes. So we're coming up on 1 here. Then we're going to dodge that, get off the earthquake, of course, and then just keep going to town with that mud shot. At this point, I was thinking, okay, I have enough health to take these volt switches. I'm definitely not going to dodge those. You're going to see after this with my second Groudon, it's going to kind of look like I'm dodging the volt switches, but I'm just kind of, you know, a little nervous that it's about to use its psychic. I don't know if I got shadow hit or I did bad dodging there. I think it was just bad dodging. So in comes the lower IV Groudon. It's like 89%. Did you see how much health it had? It was in the green still, so we're going to see how well this performed. It's not like it's doing better than the 100, which was just in. It's just because I'm going to be dodging every single psychic, so you're going to see the potential of how beastly Groudon is. Literally, it's so nice. The call for ground type moves, though, is not super in demand, I would say, because when you have the Alolan Raichu and then what, Mawile, other than that, you're going to use them to take out, I don't know, Registeels. That actually would work as well. But man, these Registeels, let's talk about that, right? I am getting so sick of them. I think 1 month was way too long for these things. No, I mean, people are going. It's not like you can't find a raid or something like that. And yes, you can just go for the items as well. It's just like the Registeel, I'm so sick of looking at it. One of the reasons why is because I was driving around looking for tier 3 raids desperately, and all I kept seeing was Registeels, trash cans everywhere. I didn't understand why. Please go away. You know, when the legendary raids are, when you want them, they're never around, but when you don't want them, they're everywhere, especially these. So we're finishing it off with the Groudon at 12 seconds. Looked like 14, took a while to flinch, but we did it. So, all right, so next up is going to be a Flareon. I did use Kyogre. Every time I use that thing, I feel like I'm cheating or I'm not actually putting in effort. But I would try different combinations, but I need to get some more revives before I do anything crazy anymore. And Kyogre is basically a safe bet to throw into the Flereon and into the Donphan raid. If you're using those and then something fairly good to back it up, you should be okay. But be warned, if you're in cloudy weather and it has play rough, 1 Kyogre may not be enough, all right? Because that thing is a monster. Play rough hurts. So it just goes to prove how well of a gym defender it really is with play rough, because it is a nice move to have. Neutral to the Pokemon that are super effective to it, and super effective to other random types that they would maybe be using, like a Dragonite or Rayquaza, for instance. Machamps. You know how people like to go into raids with 6 Machamps. Or should I say gyms, sorry. Alright, so starting this raid now. Let's go Kyogre. And then it's going to be backed up by Tyranitar. That's a good option. If you have partly cloudy, it's going to be doing so much damage. If you have 3 powered up Tyranitars around 3200 CP, it is going to, you know, be like 20 seconds left on the clock. When I did it personally, there was like 40 something seconds. So it depends on how well you dodge, and you know, it's all random number generator. If the raid boss decides to keep spamming its charge bar, if it's like flamethrower, for instance, you're gonna have a bit of trouble depending on what Pokemon. If you go in there with like 3 Kyogres, it's that you can close your eyes and have a conversation. It doesn't really matter. You're still going to be able to beat it as long as you're tapping that Hydro Pump, right? And of course, I found another flamethrower. I was looking for Fire Blast so I can do the Machamps, because we do have the cloudy weather. I still want to try that challenge, but it was flamethrower. I went safe. I just picked this team. This was my first. No. This was my 3rd attempt, I do believe. I had to back out because I was trying to do it with Groudon, and I wanted to use 1 Kyogre and 1 Groudon, but I went in there with my Solar Beam one, and I said, forget it. Let's just do Tyranitar. I'm not trying to sit here all day. And so anyway, enjoy the rest of these gym battles, folks, and thank you for watching. Hope you are having a great night or day wherever you're at, and I'll be catching you all on my next video. Take care.